Hello guys, thank you for joining in this live stream today. It was a bit later than I was expecting to do it. So I will begin shortly with the main market movers that we can see during this week. Bitcoin, Ethereum and the Ripple for the crypto market, Euro USD as the leader for the Forex market. I also added a very beautiful setup from Aussie New Zealand. We are going to look at also the others, US oil and US 500 as the leader of the stock market. So these are all very important. I'm going to check them one by one, very shortly, but in details overall. So as we have seen also during the previous time, we were looking at Bitcoin, and on the daily time frame, our perspective was for the support area to stop the price very strong. So this was our main scenario. As we can see, the expected support show it to be very strong, close to 80,500, and price bounced up from this level. So let's look at on the 4-hour time frame for Bitcoin. The important part that I was focused at during Thursday live stream that I already did, it was this part here and this type of price contraction. So this wedge was expected to push the price higher. And as we have seen also from the ideas that I have shared during these days for Bitcoin, this was shared a bit late, but on the live stream it was in time, price reached the first target. So during the previous time, price was on this small 60 minutes candle here. This was the flag that we are looking at. And what was very interesting was that this flag was exactly below the lower support area. So both price movements were possible at this moment. So we could have seen the price to come lower to the base of the structure again. And after that, it was something that we had to validate again if the price was going to move lower or potential higher. However, according to the base analysis that I have since a long period of time, I'm still expecting for price to keep rising here. So after the bounce, look at what nice breakout that we had during the previous time. So it happened close to 20,000 as expected. The top was at 20,000 approximately, and the price just pushed higher from this moment. So it was increased only from the candle closed by 9.5%, and from the small pattern it was 12.2%. So not bad at all as movement. What I'm expecting overall for the price to create right now. Thank you very much for joining. Now I'm reading the messages from the guys. Thank you again. So let's get back to our analysis. What I'm actually expecting is that price now already reached our area. So the first target was reached. And what we can expect at this point is that considering that we already have the bullish volume that is increased and the momentum here is actually very strong, my maximum expectation for this moment is that probably we can see something like this flag here, but on the opposite side. So we can see a type of small contraction. It can happen during these days. And after that I would like to see the bullish movement. Considering also the resistance zone, it has higher chances of happening. Price already stopped here. However, we can rule out the possibility that we can see also Bitcoin to make any deeper correction. With any deeper correction, I mean that we can see also an ABC movement. So for the time being, you don't have any trade at all. We just have to wait and to see for any bullish pattern again. On the 60 minute, we have only a small pattern, but we cannot take this in consideration for the next movement. So if we want a movement like this one here, or like the one that price created, it's a must that we should have a type of correction again before price will bounce up again. So this is my scenario, what I'm actually expecting on Bitcoin, and hope you like this scenario. I will update also during the coming days. So and also I'll do another live stream during the week. We are going to do this often. So just let's look at the price as long as it develops step by step on Bitcoin. I would really appreciate if you are going to press the like button and also to subscribe on my YouTube channel or the TradingView platform where we are looking at. The next one that we are going to look at after Bitcoin is Ethereum. This is getting really interesting in different perspectives right now. From what we can see, Ethereum is actually creating this type of movement, We had the first correction and it is developing a type of Elliott wave movement. We can be in this type of development. So we can see a 1, 2, 3, 4, and now we can be on the fifth wave development. It is valid in all the perspectives because the correction of the fourth wave was stopped before it reached the wave 1, the top of wave 1. So it didn't came lower. It's all good. And price can continue lower, can continue higher from this point. Also, we had an ABC correction on the small wave, that this is adding a lot of data here for the next movement. But for this type of movement that I'm expecting on Ethereum, we have also an alternate count that it can come as a type of 1, 2, 3, 4, and the fifth wave here. I'm going to make it with black. And probably the ABC correction that happened probably is the correction for another cycle. And with another cycle, I mean that we can be in 1, 2, and the third wave will come in a higher perspective. However, what is important is that it looks ready for another bullish wave. It doesn't matter if it is going to be the fifth or the third wave, the alternate count. It looks really good how the price is actually positioned right now. What I also like is that this correction probably is finished and exists only one possibility that I'm looking at on Ethereum, that we can see an expansion on this type of correction. If this is going to create this movement, it is going to be valid again, but we are going to be in a more complex correction after that. However, it will come again in line with the count that I'm sharing for the fifth wave or the third wave. And for targets, if we are going to have the third wave, I think that we may see the top of the structure when the price was on April 22. It can be reached very soon if we are going to be on the black scenario. if we are going to be on the blue scenario that I'm looking at here for the fifth wave, probably price can continue and test this zone as beginning, where it will find the first support, the first resistance, sorry, at 2500. We can see any type of development, and after that the price can bounce up again. However, these are scenarios that we have to see step by step because they are very complex. For the moment, what matters is that we have to have our targets at the top of the structure at 2000, and after that 2500. So these are very reasonable target for the price movement that is developed right now. On the 4-hour, what we actually can see on the 4-hour, it's very interesting again, because after the price broke out, if you are going to look at the previous live stream, I was looking at for this price expansion, and the bullish movement that I was expecting was if price was going to bounce above this type of potential megaphone pattern. So let's suppose that price is actually above and it should rise. We have also a bullish sign that looks very good. Price is above two structures right now. So this is adding more data that the maximum pullback can come close to our area, and after that the price should continue higher. These are my expectations for Ethereum as well. So 1660, 1700 should be the reversal zone before the price continues with the bullish movement. However, you need to know that Ethereum is speculated a lot from the merge that they are having right now. It began on September 6th. It will be end on September 20. Everything will depend how it will develop, because they are with phases. They had to check how the project will have the merge. So probably it can be a smooth process, but also they can have small technical issues. So it has to be seen. It will pump Ethereum a lot, I guess, considering that Ethereum is going to decrease the gas fees by 99%. They are going to decrease the transaction fees, so it is going to be improved a lot as environment. And Ethereum, on the near future, when everything will be finished, it will increase a lot more than the targets that we are looking at right now. But for the moment, the market is just expecting for the merge how everything will develop. So let's go on with the next one, that is Ripple. On the Ripple, this is a project that I also like a lot. The payment projects are really very good, and Ripple is one of them that they have contracts. Also, Stellar is one of them that they have side contracts with different companies. Ripple signed also with the government of Singapore for the cross payment border. So we are going to look at how the price will develop, but it should increase more in the coming months, I guess. What is also interesting is that the lower part of the structure is holding very strong, and price on the daily chart just bounced from this type of wedge pattern. So even if price is going to test a lower zone, the next price direction is pointing up. So even if you are going to break it down on the smaller time frame, the maximum pullback that can happen is close to the support line of the structure of this pattern. So price can come up to 0.34. It can happen, this type of correction. and after that the next movement should be up. I am expecting as minimum target the retest of the area where the price was before. This is the second one. These are very small targets in my opinion that I'm looking at on Ripple. So this is 30% price increase, the top, but this is a small target with the movement that I'm actually expecting for Ripple. Also, with the increase of Bitcoin, we can see Ripple to rise faster again, considering that Ripple is also very strong as cryptocurrency. And the trading volume is also very high as well in Ripple. I really like it how fast it tends to move when it begins the movement. So these are very conservative targets in my opinion. I am long-term bullish on Ripple and how the price can develop. So this is our area that I'm actually expecting, and the price should continue up from this point. So we have a 32% price increase from 0.34. Here we have 75, and the maximum expectation for the medium term is 150% price increase. So this is also for Ripple. And now I'm going on with the next one, that is Euro USD, that many of you are actually trading it. I have seen many analyses during this weekend. Many are supporting the bullish and the bearish expectations. However, we need to have an open mind and to be careful. It's not easy at all, considering that overall Euro USD is moving within this channel, that it looks perfect. We have the support coming from the below part of the structure, and we have also the resistance on the upper part of the structure. So overall, the price is blocked within this channel. But what is happening, that many are pretending for a strong bearish movement, and why we can have also the bullish movement. So I'm going to break it down on the 4-hour time frame, and what we are going to see is that during the previous time, when price tested for the first time 0.9940 at the end of July, we saw this ABC movement. When price created this ABC movement, we had one support, one resistance from the line that was coming from above, and another one was the structure, the horizontal structure from the upper part. This created a strong pressure for the price to move lower, and as we can see here, price continued lower from this moment. What I have checked also by myself and what I have seen is that many are expecting for this movement. Look at how similar are these movements. So price is testing this small structure. We are in a minor structure this time. It's not a bigger one. Don't mess up the structures with each other. Look at how big was this structure and look at where we are now. We are within a small structure that the price is trying to move above. So it's way too different, in my opinion. And many traders are expecting that price can move lower from this point and to probably to come lower. However, what can happen, and you can choose by yourself if you want to trade Euro USD after that, because it is not an easy scenario at all. I will just explain the variations, how it can develop, and look at what we have here. During the previous live stream that I did, we had two possibilities at this point. One was the cup and the handle pattern. It was creating this pattern. and possibility was for the price to continue it lower. And the second possibility for the bullish movement was that price had also this possibility. So a potential move for this wedge pattern. As we all know, we don't have to trade everything that we see, but we just to take a position. If you want to sell, we need to know where is our stop loss. If you want to buy, you need to know how it will be confirmed and how the price can develop. So in this scenario, I was expecting for the bullish movement to happen. It was developed on the lower time frame, very nice breakout. Look at the breakout that happened. We had the price coming back during the European Central Bank decision for the interest rates and the press conference that they already did. And price increased during the European night up to the upper part of the structure. So this is the first part that happened. Only from this point, price increased by 160 pips. So it's not bad at all. It's a very large movement. I also have shared this. It was shared before, but this was later. Price was expected that we can face resistance on the first area. I'm going back right now on our chart. Price can face resistance on the first area where we already close profits at the upper part of the structure, and the probability was that price could have come on the lower part, and in this order we could have seen a bigger corrective structure. So this is possible to happen during this time, and it's very tricky situation. But what we can see is also that from the smaller part, this small support, price already broke out of this. However, it is not a must that the price should continue higher. It has to confirm a lot before it will continue. I'm not expecting or to anticipate any bearish movement right now. For the bearish movement, price needs to confirm more, or it can come down also with very low momentum, considering that on September 20, FOMC is going to release the interest rate. However, I'm not expecting anything strange. Maximum expectation is 0.5%. I don't think that they are going to be really hawkish on US dollar, considering also the job positions that came lower than expected, and that is a good thing as long as they are targeting a decrease in the employment rate, and also on the other side they are expecting for the economy to slow down and to move below the normal trend growth. So as long as the new job positions came lower as expected, I'm not expecting Fed to come out with a very strong monetary policy statement this time. However, for the bullish movement, we need to see if price is going to bounce above this area. We need to see any correction for the price to hold and to stop in this zone. And after that, it had higher chances that the price can bounce up from this point. So this is what I'm expecting overall. For the moment, this is not good at all for the bearish movement or for the bullish movement to take any decision. So everything is speculation. The chances are very high that we can see the price coming down, considering that the main trend, the major trend is bearish, and also the structure is supporting the bearish movement. However, I'm not a big fan of this movement right now. I can see a small potential how you can initiate this trade, but is very bad idea again, because it will not come as a profitable trade. Probably if price is going to come below this type of pattern, it can confirm that it will move lower. However, it's very dangerous, because we can see these structures that are all crossing out with each other. We have this pattern, we have this structure here, we have the first pattern, we have structure again, so price can bounce also from the small zone. So just wait, it is not clear at all in my opinion. If you are long from the lower part, just leave the stop loss and break even, and the price needs to develop more at this point. It's very tricky scenario in all situations. So this is what I'm looking at on Euro USD this time. The next one that we are going to look at is Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar. I'm going to keep it very simple. When price reached the top, this is close to an all-time high on the daily chart, you can see that price came very deeply. Price went below the first and the strongest support area, and as we can see on the 4-hour, price was stopped close to the second support zone. The support is really valid at this point, considering that we saw the price to bounce up again from 1.1120, and the chances are that we can see the price to test the support and it can test the upper part again. So this is our support right now. We can see Australian dollar to test the small zone. This is a support area, and after that the price can bounce up again up to the top of the structure. So it keeps developing within the structures, one structure at a time, as we can see in Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar. If price is going to break the upper part, it can continue. However, for conservative trading, this is my expectation. Just a retest and the retest of the upper resistance line again. Also, you need to be careful, because overall the structure can make any U-turn here. I'm expecting it during this period of time, but we need to see for more price development and how the price will react close to the top of the structure. So this is the most important thing, how the price will stop close to 1.1240. The next financial instrument for today is USOIL. I have shared an analysis also during this period of time, this week. What is a bit ugly, in my opinion, when it comes to oil, is that all the countries are already facing very big problems when it comes to energy consumption and energy cost, the cost of production that it is related with oil and gas as well. And on the other side, we are looking at the price that is coming down. So we are not having them in confluence. They are diverging from each other, the fundamental perspective and the technical perspective. So this is not good at all. It is speculated a lot with the part that price is coming down because we are entering in a recession and blah blah blah, because we are going to reduce the oil consumption and gas consumption, but it doesn't make sense at all at this moment, but it is happening. So these are very big traps here. We can see that price already created this movement, big corrections, and look at what we saw here, and price can create the same thing also here before it will come lower again. On the bigger perspective, price should come close to the lower part of the structure at 66 and also on this area, so 72 and probably the smaller one 79. These are my expectations. However, I'm going to break it down on the 4-hour time frame, and you need to be careful from the price how it is developing. Look at the issue that I'm actually looking at right now. Price is facing the support area, the resistance area, sorry, it was a broken support, and it can continue lower to move from this point. Another problem is that we saw the price to make 1 to 3 movement, and another problem is that we can see the same 1 to 3 movement on this side. It is clear that during the previous times we saw these 1 to 3 movements happening very often. Also, after the price broke out, look at this here, this is a specific one, and it's also a tricky one. Price broke down this structure, look at how beautiful this is looking here, and we saw the price not to continue lower, but price created this movement, 1, 2, and the third was up. So we can experience the same thing after the price broke down the structure. So it's not that easy as it seems as a movement, despite the fact that price can move up and it can come down again. So just stay away, in my opinion, from oil and be careful with it. It is not a so easy scenario. Thank you very much to all of you for your comments. I really appreciate it. And also the last one that we have on the list is US 500. What do we have to need to be careful with US 500? On the daily chart, we can see that price is expanding all of this movement. So look at the movement, 1, 2, 3 movement, price corrected fast, 1, 2, 3, we can see a fast correction. So what can happen right now is that we can also see a 1, 2, 3 movement for the price to come down, or probably something different this time. It has higher chances that we can see a type like this movement here. So this was, and the bearish movement, it can clone the same pattern. But on the other hand, look at where the price was stopped during these days. So on at the mid of August, August 16, August 15, price tested the top and it created this movement. And what it is actually doing is that the price is coming up right now. What we need to be careful is this support structure. So it has a higher chance that price can test the structure and it can make anything strange at this point. So we need to be careful from the bearish movement, but we can see also the price to continue and making bullish flags and keeps higher. However, the first one that I'm expecting is the bearish scenario, but we don't have any setup at all for the moment. So this is the first assumption that I'm looking at for the US 500 to come a bit lower. Considering how it moves, look at the movement with small corrections. If we are going to see any small correction, probably it has chances to move up, any small correction, and it can keep moving up in this way. So this is what I would like to see for US 500 right now. Look at how beautiful price created this movement. Thank you to all of you guys. I really appreciate it. This is for US 500, so it is better to stay out if you don't see any setup. We need at least a small bullish pattern to continue, for the price to continue the bullish movement during this moment. So let's see. We need to check them. Some of the guys are asking about ADA, Litecoin, and Luna too. So I really appreciate it for writing. Yes, I can go with a fast one, with a fast check. For Radha, I have shared this analysis also before. It was really basic, very beautiful setup. I'm going to keep it very simple right now. Price was supported a lot on the lower part of the structure, and it created this bullish wave again. So this happened during this period of time at the end of August. As you can see, minimum expectation that I'm expecting is the top of the wave where the price was before. So even if you are going to see any small correction, it will come at this level. And what is interesting is that we can have the second zone again. Sorry, however, ADA is very strong. The second one as target, it is not too far. From the lower part, ADA had a high possibility for the retest of 0.55. So in my opinion, it can increase also up to the second zone very easily during this moment. For a higher movement, probably we can see the price to develop a bit more. It can make any up and down before it keeps moving higher. So this is the boring scenario, and the good scenario is that we can see the price to bounce up from this point. So a must, if price is going to increase, is the retest of the higher part of the structure. So if you are a long-term investor, in my opinion, don't give up from the upper part of the structure. It's very interesting again. Uh, just updated the oil for one of the guys that is actually asking. You can check it after the live stream. It is recorded, and you can look at the details that I already shared here. This is for Radha. So guys, as I see, the number of requests is adding a little bit. I will take note for all of these that you are asking, and probably I will do a live stream tomorrow, on the day after tomorrow probably. So I will add all of this in the list for the next time. So hope in your understanding, because the price, the time went more than I was actually expecting. So I hope you understand. Litecoin, Luna 2 that one of the guys is asking, and also crude oil for the next time. If you have anything to add, just write it on the comment section, or on the comment section for below the video, and I will try to do my best for Tuesday, I guess. So definitely I will do another live stream on Tuesday after today's. So thank you, and I hope to see you all on the next live stream. Bye bye. Thank you all, guys.